Hello everyone, thanks for coming. A couple of words about me. I'm coming from Podgorica, Montenegro, husband and father of two, passionate PHP developer with over 20 years in a field, and currently working in Surmas company building the all-in-one WP migration plugin for backups and migrations. And usually, if I'm not coding, you'll find me watching or playing football. But lately, more likely watching than playing. Let's start first with some numbers. As the colleague mentioned, more of 40% of the web is powered by WordPress, and because of that and popularity, over 30,000 WordPress sites get hacked daily. 90% of those vulnerabilities comes from the plugins or the themes, but in almost 40% of the hacked sites were running outdated core, so actually the WordPress itself, and 8% of the hacks comes from the compromised and weak passwords. Why beyond plugins? Here we have a couple of security plugins and vulnerabilities found there. This doesn't mean the plugins are bad, but as more popular they are getting, the more likely they will get hacked or whatever, you know. So today we will discuss the multi-layer security approach. We can split that in, let's say, 4 layers. First, as we mentioned, those are like security plugins. Then we have a server configuration, application layer, and infrastructure itself. First things first, so choosing the hosting is very important, and we can, let's say, split those in some 3 categories. First, shared hosting, then managed, or better say WP managed, and VPS, actually that's virtual private server, or even dedicated, whatever. But there you're on your own, so you're the owner and administrator of all the things, while the managed hostings have some of these, let's say, things like DDoS protection, malware scanning, etc., etc. The worst option, if you ask me, is like shared hosting because of, for example, cross-contamination, limited service access, etc., etc., etc. So where to start, like first, is some server hardening, better say in this case, file permission. So never ever use the 777 permission. Directories should always be 755, files should be 644, and there are some special cases for the WP config, htaccess if it's Apache server, or nginxconf if it's about the nginx server. Here we come to the server configuration. There are, let's say, I put here some 10 things that you should pay attention to when you set up your web server. First of all, so disable the directory browsing. Second, protect WP config file or any other WP sensitive files. If you don't need it, block XML, RPC. Also, very important, prevent PHP execution in the uploads folder. Most of the hacks came from there. Also, you need to protect non-WP sensitive files, limit request method, put security headers, and block access to WP includes. Also, most servers come with disabled track and trace methods. Those are mostly used for debugging purposes. And block outer scans if you don't need that, because first step is to know the username, That's from where everything starts. Did I tell you not to use the admin username? Here, you have all these configs for both the servers, like Apache or Nginx. At the end of the presentation, I will share the GitHub repo, where you can find all the examples mentioned here. So this is like WP config. It's like a vault in a bank, That's everything what matters in terms of security in the WordPress. So always use some random database prefix, disallow file edits, in today the SSL is like the standard, but force it in admin, limit if you don't need, limit the post revisions or even disable it if you don't need it. Of course, turn off debug in production, security keys, and what's important, from time to time, rotate those keys. The WordPress in general is built to support the WP config file not to be public accessible. So one level above the, let's say, web server root. So move it up so that it's not publicly accessible. And there are some hosting that you cannot do this, but in most cases, yes. And WordPress is like a build to support this out of the box. When it comes to database security, always create a specific user. Only one user per one database. That's the rule. And of course, strong password and everything else, but grant minimal permissions. That's very important. You don't need to, for example, what you see here is enough for a WordPress site to run like smooth. Revoke unnecessary privileges, and if not necessary, disable the remove database access. When we come to the backup security, actually, and database security, what's important there is always use encryption, Even if your backup file gets compromised, the hacker will need the key to use it. And of course, location also matters. Never store it in public HTML or any web accessible folders. Don't use like generic names for the backups, like backup SQL, site backups, .zip, I don't know. And those patterns try to be as much random as you can. And very important, rotation. Always have a backups, because if you have like a old backup, you may have the old vulnerability. When it comes to backup, if that backup doesn't work, you don't have a backup. So do the testing of the backups regularly. From time to time, try to restore the backup to see if everything works as you do. Authentication and access control. So as we all know today, we need to implement like strong authentication, force the strong passwords. Also, sometimes it's good to implement two-factor authentication without any plugins, so that you are like in control, in charge. Also, in the repository that I will share at the end, you will find some pseudocode for that later. Also secure the login process in terms, if you don't need it, you can hide the WP login path, change it to be something else. When it comes to code level security, as we all know, input validation and sanitization. Never trust the user input. I don't trust myself. So why would I trust the user? Output escaping, always escape the output. Ajax calls should be at least secured with a nonce, at least. And most important here is custom user capabilities. So here it comes the principle of least privilege. If some user doesn't need admin privilege, why would you give him admin privilege? No need. So be as specific as you can. Monitoring and incident response. In order to stay ahead of the threats, it's important to set up some kind of monitoring and some security logging things like who did log, when did log, are there failed logins, etc., etc. And most important thing also, file integrity monitoring, so that you can detect unauthorized file changes. For example, what I like to use is WP CLI. It has built-in command to check integrity of the files of the core, but also some plugins could be checked. There is a command for that too, if there is some edit file or modified or something. And always have the incident response plan. I'll give you an example of the incident response plan. So as a first step, like immediate action in the first 15 minutes, let's say, take the site offline, put it in maintenance mode, whatever, just not to be, because most of the hacks comes from HTTP. Change all admin passwords, review access logs that we mentioned, you should have, check for any unauthorized users in DB or whatever, and important thing is also to document what you did. As a second step in this incident response plan is investigation, and that should happen like in first hour. For me, this is like usually the hardest thing when it comes for it, you know, because as colleague mentioned, the hackers are more sophisticated and sophisticated that you actually sometimes don't know where to look, you know. So scan for malware, check file modifications. Again, if we get back to that setup where we maybe have a file integrity check things. Also review database for the injections, identify attack vector, or check if, for example, you have more size than one on the same hosting, same server. It's mandatory to check all of them. Repair as a first day, so yeah, depending on what happened, remove malicious code, patch, update all the components if needed, or if you have clean backup, restore from backup. And more important here is to implement additional security measures. Probably we missed some step, something. You know? There is always a place for improvement in everything. Recovery and hardening. So it's also important to monitor for recurring issues. Maybe there is some backdoor, something that even if you fix it, it becomes same and same again and again. And as I said, implement lessons learned, update eventually the security policies that you have, and of course, schedule the security audit. Quote to quote, these are the 5 layers of WordPress security, of course, beyond the plugins. Plugins are also the very important part of the security for each WordPress site, but at least we can do some small things to make harder for the hacker or anyone to hack the site. So server configuration, WordPress core hardening, database security, authentication, access control, and code level security. So on this graph, you can see some of the, if you, for example, implement only one from these things, for server configuration can block like 80% of the attacks automatically. Thank you. Questions?